And good morning, everyone. We are joined with JP Gallagher. Now, JP, you are the current Chief Executive for Butte-Silver Bow County. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me today, Jane.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a pleasure. Now, tell me a little bit about why you are seeking re-election for Chief Executive.
Jane, when I ran the first time, I thought I could really make a difference in Butte Silver Bow with my background and just kind of projects that we kind of brought to fruition when I was parks director and then leadership that I had when I was a school administrator. So I think we've done a really good job. I think that under my leadership that Butte Silver Bow has prospered. We came in unprecedented times, right? There was COVID happening. And so it was just a crazy time in everybody's lives. But I think, we've came out of that successfully. I think Butte has seen unprecedented growth and prosperity. And so, just looking to continue that in the next 4 years.
And a big topic this past year in Butte Silver Bow was transparency, especially transparency when it comes to government entities like the EPA. Now, tell me a little bit about how your administration handled that issue and how, if reelected, you would handle issues similar to that moving forward.
Sure. Transparency is always something that's talked about in any kind of government agency and the races that we have here. And so, we've requested and required, to have more transparent meetings. We have opened up more meetings with the EPA, Atlantic Ridge Field, DEQ, and offered those to the public as well. That there's always those times though that people think because there are meetings that maybe the public is not in, we are a representative government, and not every meeting that we go to can be open to the public, nor should it be. But when it comes time to letting the public speak, letting them have the opportunity to voice their concerns or be a part of the process, we open that up to the public. And so I think that my administration, we've been very transparent about the things that we've done. Of course, that's always a buzzword saying, oh, that administration's not transparent or they haven't been doing the right things. And I would disagree with that wholeheartedly. And I think that we've made real efforts to make sure that the public is engaged.
And that kind of leads me into my next question. There has been some criticism over your administration and transparency. What would you like to say to that, to those who think that?
Yeah, well, I mean, I just go back to what we were just talking about. If you look at the history of, engaging with the EPA, the Region 8 Director, Casey Becker, I've requested more openness, more public meetings that are available. They've entertained more resources to our region to address those specifically. But it's one of those things that you know when you're in local government, again, you can't be every single meeting is not open to the public, and that's kind of where the criticism is that every one of our meetings is not there. And I can tell you, I'd open up my calendar, and if you asked me to have every meeting open, we would have absolutely have nothing accomplished. But when the meetings need to be open, when there is that public engagement, and we do have a robust public engagement process in Butte Silver Bow, and we have our council of commissioners that are open, they're recorded, there's public engagement, and then we have a lot of public meetings that are open to the public for them to get to be a part of that process.
And one last thing before I let you go, Mr. Gallagher. Something that I've heard a lot from people that are living in Butte right now, they're seeing a rise in petty crime at the moment. Is that something that you yourself are noticing? And if reelected, how would you want to go about addressing that issue?
So we're working with that. I'm working with the sheriff, of course, and our county attorney about addressing the issues that we have with petty crime. And the part of the issue is that our jail is overflowing, and some of those issues are that we have state prisoners that are still in our local county jail that doesn't make room for that. So it's hard to sentence people to jail when there's not room in the jail to put them in. So the sheriff is addressing it. We're working diligently about that, but a lot of emphasis is put on some of those crimes. We're working hard at it. I know the sheriff is as well. But there's so many more positive things happening in Butte than talking about just those things that happen. There's our economic vitality right now is at second to none. That we've never seen this type of prosperity in 100 years in Butte. And so we're going to see some of those issues, but there's way more good than bad going on in Butte right now.
All right, JP Gallagher, thank you very much for taking the time to chat with us this morning.
Thanks a lot, Jane.
Absolutely. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, Matt's going to have a look at that forecast for you.